Oh,
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Developing Palates. I am Aaron Loomis coming to you from the Drew Estate Studios. With me today is Seth Turnip Geis, and from the Bastanio Studio, John McTavish. How you guys doing?
I'm looking up turnip puff recipes. I'm seeing this plate of turnip puff, pickles, and cheese on it. I'm like, I'd eat it.
Pickles.
I'd eat it.
All right. I'll try it
I'm
for
uh,
sure.
I'm excited. One of the nice things about Thanksgiving for America is that I get to benefit from seeing a triple header of football on a
Yes.
weekday,
Yeah,
which is
we do that.
I
We do that
yeah,
for everybody. That's
Yes.
just us
I
giving
appreciate that.
back,
It's
saying
it's
thank
We
you.
mostly do
selfless.
it for England, but they just it doesn't stick there. They keep
Yeah.
rejecting it. So,
Well, maybe don't send them a Giants Jags game because that was just like, man, like I don't know if they know they're getting punked right now, but they're getting
yeah.
punked right now.
It's just we just keep sticking it to those motherfuckers. All right.
Don't
So
come back.
So today we are talking about the Don Doroteo El Alcalde. I think that's how you say it, Alcalde. It is a
That's how I
torpedo,
was saying it.
6 1/4 by 52. Comes out of the Lauro factory in the Dominican Republic. Wrapper and binder, both Ecuadorian Sumatra. Filler is from Brazil and the Dominican Republic. Price point is $29.75. And
Oof.
the cigar was released in August of 2024. So with all that out of the way, Seth, what was your overall experience like with this cigar?
Man, really didn't pay attention to that price. I love when you don't pay attention to these one little factors. You're like, whoa. Um, Listen, the first third started out pretty nice. It was just giving some like rich earth, stone fruit, tobacco, wood, and spice. I mean, you could pick up the Ecuadorian Sumatra flavor profile there. It's kind of like that darker Ecuadorian Sumatra flavor profile that I think of. Um, so there were some mineral qualities really early on too, and I was like, this is just going to grow as the cigar progresses. I kind of had that feeling for it. Second, third showed a little bit more tobacco and some dry wood notes. There's some faint, rich earth, some mineral spices. Medium full to full, so the strength was on the rise. And the final third just had stronger mineral notes behind, with those earth, tobacco, pepper spices. Still medium full to full. Um, my burn was off on the cigar. My draw, I guess, was just kind of average. I just had went out one time, then it was a little wavy, so I had some issues on that end. Um, oh, that wasn't to me. Cool, never mind. Thanks, John. Uh, so yeah, it was just kind of a average. I don't know. I have a lot of thoughts on the cigar.
All
That's
right.
more like conclusion.
Yeah, we can get in there.
John?
Yeah, I had an interesting first third start to this. Just sort of rich tobacco, wood, earth, mild, light plus spices in the post draw. Getting some salty nuttiness and tobacco combinations in the retrohale is really interesting. Kept me pretty engaged, and then that nuttiness as it progressed kind of was sitting in the palate in the post draw, which is good. And then the salt kind of receded as it progressed through the first third, and then sweet tobacco kind of taking over. And yeah, it was nice. Spices were subdued. The profile was nice, and rich in that first third. Second third, kind of more focused on creamy tobacco and wood, a little bit of tannic wood to finish. Began with the baking spices at the center of the profile, but very restrained at light plus, and then the nuts kind of carried through again. This time more in the post draw and didn't have that saltiness with them. So kind of a step back in terms of complexity for me. And then last third, creamy spicy wood, ramped up the strength, which surprised me. So I kind of qualified as medium minus up until this point, and this was solidly medium in the last third. And then kind of a dry wood acting in the background note on the palate, and then a little bit of spices accenting again. So flavor profile wise, I'd say above average. Construction was pretty perfect. Burn was straight all the way through. Draw was kind of exactly where we want it to be, especially on the torpedo. So, yeah, above average. Aaron, what about you?
Yeah, for me, the cigar started with aged, musty, toasted cedar, some baking spice, and a bit of earth. Baking spice transitioned to black pepper pretty quickly. Second, third saw the profile become pretty dry and the pepper mellowed and the earth becoming even up front. Um, Cedar also lost the aged musty component to it. Then the final third saw the cedar take the lead in the profile and the pepper picked up a bit. just an average flavor profile throughout, kind of focused around that toasted cedar earth and black pepper. It was also pretty dry from the second third on for me, so not a very exciting cigar. Kind of the aged component of I think it's the wrappers was supposed to be that kind of the 15-year aged component here, but it's also really expensive. So kind of all leading me to seeing myself not coming back to it. So. All right, let's get into the scores. We're going to start at the top with John at 6.1. I gave it a 5.6, and Seth gave it a 5.25. So, John, how'd that 6.1 match up for you?
Yeah, it's bang on in terms of scoring. Like you said, $30, man. I mean, listen, I'm cheap. My family comes from Scotland. We know how to make a penny last. If you're gonna wring $30 out of me, it's gonna have to be in the high sevens to wring $30 out of this cheap mofo. But the score matches up well.
My 5.6 matches up well. Average flavor profile throughout. Draw was a little tighter than I prefer, but wasn't a
Mm.
detriment to the cigar, but it knocked it down just a little bit. So kind of right in the mid fives. But um, even without the price point, it's just not a flavor profile that speaks to me. So it wouldn't be something that I'd return to. All right, Seth, 5.25.
Yeah, I definitely would not return to it. Well, actually, let's face it. I have a couple more of these. I'd smoke them with some age, but with this price point, no, I would not buy them. I don't know what people thought that 2024 was the year to do like this Ecuadorian Sumatra wrapper and binder. I mean, that was 20 years ago when you could do that. You can't do that anymore.
Get comfortable, Seth, because it's gonna be 2025 is the year of Sumatra.
It's just
Better settle in.
it's not what it once was. So
It's not 1995 anymore.
no. I think if you had quality Ecuadorian Sumatra though, this would, years ago, like you keep the same blend, but you had that quality tobacco from Ecuadorian Sumatra from many years ago, this blend
Yeah.
would be sweet.
Yeah.
Um, but La Aurora is that company from the past that, they still do those Cameroons and it's just it's kind of
Like a
sad.
vintage steakhouse.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, final thoughts from you guys.
I
29.75.
yeah,
I mean,
mean, listen, man.
oof.
I don't want to bust anyone's balls for price point, but for a sort of relatively young brand to the American market, that's going to be a bit of a sticker shock, I think, for a lot of B&Ms and a lot of consumers. But if it sells, it sells. So, but like I said, I mean, it's going to be hard to get $30 out of me for a cigar, and it's going to have to be a blockbuster to do it.
Yeah, I mean, this is an interesting company to me because they started out with these cigars that were supposed to have been aging just for a long time. Like they were
Yeah.
rolled way back, and now they were released. And then after that, like their follow-up was two Salt to the Earth releases, which I think were just basically like anybody could roll into La Aurora and say, "I pick
Give me some endo, yeah.
number three and I pick number seven. Like, let's go," kind of a thing. But they had price points, I think 16, $17, something like that. And then you kind of follow it up with this, which is like I think it's either the wrapper or the binder. I don't remember which one off the top of my head, but it's supposed to be 15 years aged. But these price points are crazy. I think you kind of gotta find somewhere. I mean, maybe that's the price point, but it's fine. But kind of you have these two kind of aged pillars and then you have these other two cigars in between that just don't. I'm just trying to figure out what's going. You can't do the age thing forever. It's just you're not going to be able to sustain it. I think with available tobaccos, but
Yep.
um, I guess TBD. We'll see how things progress with the company.
TBD.
Yeah. So, all right. Wherever you catch this video, be sure to like and subscribe and check out the full written review on the website, developmentpalace.com. Follow us on the social media channels, and you can catch all of our review recaps on podcasts. So iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you for tuning in. We will catch you on the next one.
El Alcalde.